Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust that you know exactly what you need to do at any given moment, and that little voice in your heart is constantly guiding you in the direction of your highest good and your greatest success. I spent so many years of my life doubting myself and questioning that little voice within. It was a waste of time, because as soon as I switched and started to trust that little voice, my whole life changed. Everything changed. Now, we are constantly being bombarded with information and told to believe this and told to believe that, and outsourcing our power to external things, people, experiences, that we forget to listen and tune in to what our heart is telling us. And that little voice that speaks to us at any given moment is God. That is God speaking to us. Now, we don't need to have some thundering voice come down from the heavens to tell us the way in which we need to go. And I personally have, kind of thought that that's what it would be, and sought for that rather than listening to that quiet little voice that was constantly talking to me and telling me what I needed to do. But because I had this seed of doubt and fear still rooted within my heart, it was suffocating that inner knowing. And this is not good. It's not good. When we switch off that little voice and we ignore that, that's us being disobedient to God. Like, being obedient to God and being obedient to confirmation. Being obedient to God means being obedient to that little inner voice, the intuitive hit that comes through, that little nudge. That's the way that we need to, that's the thing we need to follow. And until we can really remove all of those seeds of doubt and fear from our field, we'll constantly be misguided and led astray and led down paths that weren't meant for us, and finding ourselves in situations that weren't meant for us, and can all be avoided just by listening to that little voice that's constantly talking to us and telling us, hey, I think you should do this thing, or you should act on this thing, which has been constantly coming up and you can't shake it. But we can then be like, I'll do it later, or I'll do it when, or make excuses for why we can't do it, or you just got to do the thing. Like, just do the thing. Like for me, this is me doing the thing right now. This has been my intuitive nudge for literally years now. Like, I'm going to say at least 5 years I've been getting nudged in this direction, and I have completely ignored it. And I'm in a position in my life right now where I have no other choice. And everything in my life is falling apart. Like, I'm being serious. Like, I am currently about to be evicted out of my current residence because my landlord wants to move back in. I have just found out that my car has major mechanical problems, which I quite frankly cannot afford to fix right now. My job is so flaky and constantly dangling a carrot in front of me because they can't really offer me the hours that I need to feel safe and secure. Like, I'm being smashed from literally every angle of life right now because it's all been pushing me towards sitting my ass down in front of a camera and talking into it and sending it out into the world. And I like literally have no other option. I'm fully stranded. I live in one of the most remote places in Australia. Like, I live in the Daintree rainforest, which is an hour and a half from the nearest shopping centre to get my groceries, and I have no car to go anywhere. I'm literally stuck at home all day long until someone can come and pick me up and take me somewhere. And all I have is my dog, a camera, and some intuitive nudges to sit down and start talking into it. So I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like only good things can happen. But if you need a sign to trust that inner voice and take the leap of faith in the direction of the thing that you've always been scared to do, or you never felt like you were good enough to do it, or whatever excuse you have to ignore that little voice that's telling you to do the thing, fucking do it. Do it, because I'm here doing it, so you should do it too. So let's like support each other and encourage each other in doing the thing. And yeah, and I really want to be obedient to God's will. And this was a huge thing that I have, really surrendered to God in this last year, especially, is I really want to be in service, and I want to be sharing. I want to be sharing with the world and sharing with people who need that encouragement. And if I can do it, you can do it. Whatever the thing is, like, do it. And whatever that little voice, whatever your intuition is telling you, whatever God is telling you to do the thing. Like, if it's telling you to get up earlier and meditate, do the thing. If it's telling you to go for a walk, do the thing. If it's telling you to go and quit your job and fly across the world and start a new life in a completely foreign country that you've never heard of before, go and do the thing. Like, just do it. What do you got to lose? Life's short. Fuck it, man. Life's a risk. So, yeah, this is a message to you from my heart to yours to listen to your intuition. Do the thing. You got this. And trust yourself, because if you don't trust yourself, then who else is? Who else is going to trust you? I'm going to tell you a quick story. Okay, so when I was in India a few years ago, I was going through a little bit of a rough patch. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I literally had no plans. I was just going with the flow, and I was a bit lost and confused, and I ended up in Jaipur, and I met a lovely man and his younger brother who were tuk-tuk drivers, and they saw me in the street and came over and asked if I needed a driver. And at the time, I didn't really need a driver, but I did need some help with something, so I asked if they could help me with this thing that I needed help with, and they, of course, agreed and were like, yes, we can help you for sure. Let us take you there. So they ended up becoming quite good friends of mine, and as I got to know this lovely man, I was sharing him with about my story and what I was kind of going through at the time, and he was sharing his experience and his life story with me. He turned to me and suggested that I go and see his guru, and I was like, oh, okay, a guru, sure. So I ended up getting taken to a part of town where he ended up taking me to a jeweler, actually. So you know how it rolls in India, right? Like, they take you to their friend, he's a guru, but he's also a jeweler, so, you know, you want to go and buy some jewelry from him at the same time while you're getting your reading done. So anyway, I was like, whatever, I've got nothing to fucking lose at this point. So I went with him, takes me to this jeweler, and I'm sitting inside there, and I get called into the jeweler's office, and I sit down, and I was feeling like super emotionally stirred up that day. Like, I just had lots of things going on within me, and I was trying to hold it all together. So I came in, sat down in his office, and we sat there in silence for a few moments. He was looking at his jewels with a little magnifying glass, and, you know, I think he was just kind of reading my energy at that moment. But after a few minutes of silence, he puts down his equipment, and he looks up at me and he asks, "Do you trust yourself?" And me in that moment was a bit taken back by that question. I was like, oh, yeah, I trust myself. Yeah, I trust myself. Not very convincingly, but... And then he asked me, well, why are you here? And I was like, true. Why am I here? And, you know, in that moment, like, I got a lot out of that in itself, you know. And he continued to take me through, you know, a reading basically of my energy. And he was definitely clairvoyant. He definitely had some psychic gifts, I'll for sure. And yeah, he really sparked a question within me that stayed with me for a long time, and still to this day, about how much I trust myself. And yeah, like I said, for many years of my life, I did not trust myself. I did not have any level of self-esteem or confidence in my abilities or, yeah, like trust whatsoever. So being asked that question really, really changed my life in many ways, because it set me on a journey after that of really trusting myself. And from then on, from that moment on, I literally just threw myself into any and every situation that came my way, wholeheartedly trusting myself. And it was the best thing I ever did, because I learned how to fucking trust myself so solidly from then on. And I found myself in the most incredible situations and experiences and deep joy and satisfaction and fulfillment from trusting myself. So yeah, I really encourage you to take that on board for yourself and to trust in your abilities. Trust that you have everything that you need to succeed. And you can also trust that God has your back and that you are divinely loved, divinely supported, and divinely protected. You got this. Trust yourself.